Meet Codename Goose, your on-machine open-source AI agent, built to automate your tasks. Codename Goose is an intelligent and autonomous agent capable of handling complex tasks thanks to its core features. Connect with apps and tools you already use with extensions. Built on the Model Context Protocol, you can connect to extensions like GitHub, integrate JetBrains IDEs, access Google Drive, or build your own custom integrations for Goose. For a curated list of extensions, visit our docs. With a wide range of compatible large language model providers, you can choose and integrate your preferred model. You can also run Goose as a desktop app or through the command line interface using the same configurations across both. You can think of Goose as an assistant, ready to take your instructions and do the work for you. Able to handle a wide range of tasks across various engineering domains. Here are examples of tasks Goose has helped people with already. Goose has helped dive into a new project in an unfamiliar coding language, conduct code migrations such as Ember to React or Ruby to Kotlin, increase code coverage, and even generate unit tests for a feature, and much more. To get started using Goose right away, check out our Quick Start and be the first to know about upcoming features by joining our community.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Vibe Code with me. And I have this really large plant. I have a little bit of a fun fact behind this. Me and my partner, we've been getting really into plants, and he got a little crazy. And now we have probably like 6 or 7 of these plants. And this one is humongous, and we don't know where to put it. So it got stuck in my office. But anyways, so welcome to Vibe Code with me. Today we're going to automate social promo. So I realized on LinkedIn when I made this post last night that I'm not the only person that doesn't find the actual social promo of it all fun. So today we're going to try to automate the entire thing. I also started a little bit without you guys, and I'm sorry. I wanted to do it from beginning to end all together. But I don't know, like I get the itch when I'm working on something and I really want to like see if it's gonna work. I can't help myself. Like I was up until maybe 8 p.m. last night, just like coding along with it. But it's okay. I'm going to walk you guys through what I've already done so we can all catch up and work on the rest together. And also, I'm happy that I did it because it is it's long and a little intricate. So we probably would not be able to get through all of it in this hour together. But welcome to everyone. Welcome. Hey, Angie. Hey, Best Codes. And yes, there will be a recording. Everything will be available on our YouTube channel. So you'll be able to find this later if you are not able to watch now. Okay, so I actually created this little checklist so that we can all be on the same page. So the goal is I created 2 MCP servers. One is a content fetch MCP server, and the other one is a Sprout social MCP server. And the goal is I want it to go and fetch all of our content. So right now it's looking at YouTube, our blogs, and our GitHub release notes. So go fetch those, grab all the content, and then compare it to this file that I created called last seen. So if it's a new content, what it's going to do is it'll take that content, it'll then utilize this Sprout social MCP server, the little area below it, and it will upload that information. It'll upload a copy, the media, whatever, whether it's a video, a photo, or just the blog link to Sprout Social and post it automatically for us. So far, I already have those 2 MCP servers created. And now, the things that we have to work on today is really the recipe rules and the sub recipes. But let's look at the code together so we can all be on the same page when it comes to the MCP service that I created. So let me share my screen. Hey, Rizal. Hey. Okay. 1 second. Let's go to the code. We can go through this together. Actually, I think I'm going to share the repo with you guys. I should have done that ahead of time, but let me push this code. Actually, I think I've done too much to do that right now without making you guys wait for me. Oh yeah, I don't want you guys to like wait idly. All right, let me remove this. Let me share my screen. And right now it looks crazy. So let me zoom in. And if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask me. Okay. All right, so I added notes because I am going to share this code with you guys, but I should have done that ahead of time. Let's exit that out. We don't need all this distracting us. Okay, cool. So for the 2 MCP servers that I created, this one is the, which one is this one? This is the content fetcher one. Yeah, this is the content fetcher one. And for both of them, I used Fast MCP to create these MCP servers. It's just an SDK. It makes it super quick to spin up TypeScript MCP servers. I'm a TypeScript girly, but there's also a lot of other SDKs out there that you can use if TypeScript is not your preferred language. And I'm just going to go through it like briefly what I did so that we're all on the same page. Okay, so in the beginning, I had to find our YouTube channel ID. And I'm going to show you guys this together so that if you do want to code along later, you're able to. So I had to go to our YouTube channel. Then I went over to our videos. So when you go to your YouTube channel and you go to your videos, you're going to look in the URL here. Let me see if I could. Oh, it doesn't zoom in up here. But you're going to look up here and it's after channel. This right here is what your YouTube channel ID is. So you're going to look at the HTTP, the link, and everything after channel is your channel ID. Okay, so that's where I got my channel ID from. And for our Goose blogs, I'm just pulling them straight from our blog site. So from here, and then these are just the types, which we don't really got to go over that right now, but I created a function for last seen. That's again, because I wanted to grab all of the content from those sites. Thanks, Angie. Let me shut. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so I created this last seen function because I wanted to be able to grab all the content and make sure it doesn't duplicate and create new promo for us if we've already seen it or we already promoted it. So that's that last seen function. Then we have a save last seen. All of it's the same thing and has seen. That all goes with what I just discussed. And then what we're doing is this is our function to actually fetch that content. And again, it's using the channel ID from earlier. If I'm not explaining clear, please don't hesitate to stop me and ask me any questions. And this is just a generic RSS fetcher. We're not technically using this right now, but I could see a use case in the future where we might need it. And right now we're doing our blog fetcher. So it's going to grab all of our blog posts. This is going to grab our GitHub releases. Right now, what we do for our GitHub release, we just put it in Discord, and we have made maybe 1 or 2, I believe, social posts for it. So I think this would help my team a lot if we have it in there too. And then down here is me initializing our MCP server. And then this is our first tool. So it's simple. You use server.add_tool. You have to name your tool. Mine is fetch YouTube because we're fetching the YouTube videos. The description, you want your description to be super simple, straight to the point. Fetch all YouTube videos from the Goose channel, and then it's going to return those videos. And then the same thing with the blog one. Same setup. We have server.add_tool. We have the name of our tool, our description, straight to the point, fetch all Goose blog posts. And then same thing with GitHub release, right? And then we have this is new content tool. So what this is going to do is it's going to return true or false, just so it knows, is this new content or have we already seen it? And if it's already seen it, it's comparing it to that last seen function that I showed you guys earlier. And then mark content seen. And we're starting our server. Super straightforward. And now let's plug it into Goose so we can see it. Actually, let me show you guys the last seen. So this is our last seen JSON. So it grabs, like I said, it'll fetch the content. All the seen ones will be added in here. If it's not seen, this is the source of truth for it. So we have our YouTube, our blogs, our releases. And now let's run it. I think I've made some changes. So since this is a local server, anytime I make any changes, I'm always going to do npm run builds. I'm going to run that just to make sure all the changes are in there. And then I should have Goose on here. Do you guys see Goose? Yeah, you should. Let's make it bigger. Bigger. I'm going to start with a new window just so you could see how it would look for you for the first time. All right, so let's put you down. We don't need you right now. All right, 1 second. Zoom in. Make her centered and cute. Okay, now let me go back and see if you guys have any questions. Okay, everyone's doing good. All right, cool. All right, so dang, I zoomed in so much we can't even see all the stuff we need. Okay. All right, that looks good. All right, so this is a new session. We're going to go over to extensions. I've already added the content fetcher extension, but let's go into the settings. So we created this local MCP server. I'm naming it, name it whatever you want. I put content fetcher, and this is the command we're going to need, node, and then the path to that MCP server, wherever it's on your computer. And then we don't need any environment variables for this one. You would just click save changes. Since I've made some changes, I'm going to just toggle it off, find her in my array of extensions, and turn her back on. Okay, cool. And now what I like to do with Goose is I'll just like ask it, what can we do with this MCP server? What can we do with the content fetcher MCP server? Okay, so Goose is going to be working on that. It's going to return my tools, is essentially what it should return. It should return the tools that I already have in it and let me know what we can and cannot do. Let me make sure warp is off because sometimes that can slow us up a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, so we got our response. Is this big enough, everybody? So it can fetch GitHub releases, which we saw that tool. Retrieve Goose blog posts. We also saw that one. The RSS feed integration, fetch the YouTube videos, content identification. This one I didn't go over, but it just like marks it, whether it's a blog, a video, etc. And then mark content as seen. So I'm going to say Goose first so we can actually see the difference. Let me edit. 1 second. I'm going to edit our last scene. So I'm going to just delete some stuff just so, you know, we actually get something good back. So let's delete these two blocks. Ooh, let me zoom in. That looks not good. Okay, so this is where our last scene file is saved. I'm just going to delete these two just so we can get something good back. Let's delete this one too. All right, save that. Let's go back to Goose. All right. Dang, what happened? We left you, then you just shrunk on us? Okay. Hey, Goose. Zoom in a little bit. Yes, I can do that. Thank you. Okay. Goose, can you tell me what content is? I'll just say, hey, Goose, can you tell me if we have any new content? We have any new content? We'll just do that because I was going to specify like for YouTube or blogs or anything like that, but let's just let it do it. So as you can see here, it's hitting all of our tools that we have. So the fetch GitHub release, the fetch Goose blog posts, and now it's activating, it's looking in the is new content. So it's going to its source of truth, which again is this file here. Ooh, this baby right here, the last scene, and it's going to see if it has anything there. Ooh, and we do because we've deleted some, right? So we deleted some and it has our 2 new releases. It has a new blog post. I believe that's the one that I just deleted, or I deleted it earlier. I'm not quite sure. And then our YouTube videos. Cool. Would you like me to mark any of these seen? So I'm not going to have it mark it as seen because that's not the job of this one. Let's just keep going so you can understand my thought process. Okay. So we have our content. Where is she? Here she goes. Okay. We have our content fetcher MCP server. It's working. So that's good. Now let's move on to the next MCP server that we created. Let's see. This is our Sprout Social. Let's zoom in a little bit. Scroll down so you guys can see. Okay. Again, same setup. It looks a little far when I look over at that screen. Let's make it look better. Okay, I think that looks good. Great. Ooh, thanks, best codes. Okay. Now, this is our Sprout Social MCP server. So for this one, exact same thing. I'm using Fast MCP. That's just the SDK, makes it easy to spin up TypeScript MCP servers. For this one, we need a lot more environment variables. And we didn't need any environment variables, but this one we do. So we need an API token, a customer ID, and a customer ID is just your profile on Sprout. I'm going to show you guys that as well. Hopefully I don't give away any. No, it shouldn't. Okay, let's see. Load. So when you go into Sprout, I'm going to zoom in order to get any of these tokens, first you have to be an admin. So if you're not an admin, you'd have to ask whoever is the admin for help. But you would go down here to account and settings, click settings. This is all off memory. So let's see if I remember. Okay, cool. API. And then in here, if you had admin access, this is where you would see all your OAuth stuff and your API keys. And this is where you would create an API token. I'll add in the README steps so that you guys can do that on your own. But once you have your API token, in order to get all of the other IDs that we need, let's go back to our code. I believe is this one. Okay. So in order to get all the other ones, our customer ID, our group ID, and then whatever social networks, in order to get those ones, you have to do a curl command. So I'll also add that in the README so you guys can do that later. So you would add your API key token that you've gotten, and then you would do a curl command. It'll bring you back this huge JSON, and that's where you'll get all this information. Okay, so now let's go and see what this one does. So we have some like helper functions in this one. This helper function is upload media from URL. So for Sprout Social, when it wants to upload our YouTube video, for example, the flow that it does is it's going to take that link to that YouTube video, and then it's going to upload the video so that when it goes to Sprout, because I know, like, you know, some social, what's it called? Some social media sites, they like penalize you if you use links, right? Like you have to actually upload the native video. So that's what this does here. It'll take that video for us so that we don't have to include the link to the YouTube video for posting on like LinkedIn or Twitter or something like that. Okay. Then let's go down to our tools. So again, we've initialized our Fast MCP server. And then this is the upload media from URL. That's the tool that I kind of just explained. And then this one is create draft posts. So Sprout kind of did me dirty. Yeah, it kind of did me dirty a little bit. So my flow was I wanted this to be fully automated. I wanted to have a recipe that uses these two MCP servers. The social post will go to Sprout, and then it'd be able to just be a scheduled post. But Sprout doesn't allow you to do that. And I would have known that if I read. But I don't know if you guys are like me. Docs, I don't like reading docs. I don't. I will skim really, really fast, but I don't want to read. So technically right now, the Sprout API, it doesn't allow you to just schedule posts. They have to be draft posts. So in this flow, somebody still has to go in and like toggle off the draft button, which kind of sucks. So if you guys can think of any other flow, let me know. Maybe we can switch it up a little bit. Let me see. Okay, let's see. This is a good question. Hi, does Goose automatically refresh or update the content fetch output, or do we need to trigger it manually? So that's where a recipe is going to come in. And that I haven't gotten to yet. We're going to create a recipe together that's going to run on a schedule. So I'm thinking maybe once a day for now, or twice a week, something like that. We'll pick. It's going to run the recipe, and it's going to trigger this MCP server and pulling all the content. Ooh, thanks, Rizal. I wish I had everything set up so I could share the link right now, but I didn't do it. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's go back. All right, so this one is the create draft post, because again, right now in Sprout, you're not able to create just scheduled posts without it being a draft. So again, we have our name, create draft post. We have our description. Descriptions are important. They want to be clear. You don't want it to be too long or anything like that. So create a draft post, no schedule. This is a no schedule one. We also have a schedule one coming up a little later. You must pass one or more customer profile IDs. Customer profile ID is, again, that's in Sprout. That's just like the customer is Goose. That's just my ID for Goose or the DevRel team, things like that. And then it creates like an array, and it outputs the published post with the name, the copy that we want it to have, etc. And this one creates a scheduled post, same thing. This one gets the profile IDs. So this helps it so it knows like which social is it going to be posting to. Is it posting to Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, etc.? So that's where it gets all of these IDs. Let me see. See, technical documentation reading is definitely a separate skill. It is. It really is. Like I just don't want to read it. And I know it has all the important information, but for some reason, I rather just go in blind, try to figure it out, code it, and then get mad and frustrated when it doesn't work. And then I'll go and read and realize, like, oh, there was a whole let me see. Where is it? Message, publishing. Okay, here, limitations. They had a whole, wait, you guys can't see anymore? Can you guys see my screen? Because I'm not seeing it when I look at StreamYard. Is it still showing for you guys? Hold on, let me remove and add it back. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So it had this whole limitation section right here. Had I read, I would have known. I wouldn't have been so disappointed, but whatever. We move on. It's fine. Thank you. Okay, I'm not alone. And yeah, we still have to press post. That part really is not ideal, but I feel like if I think a little harder, if you guys have any ideas, we could think of a better way of doing this. Did everyone? That's what I thought too. Is your video frozen? Do you guys see the Oh, I wonder if it's my internet. Jeez. Okay, it's working now. Best codes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 All right. Thank you. But for me, it just keeps disappearing. That's so weird. Okay. So, like I said, I don't read, but there was this whole limitation section that would have saved me a little bit of heartache last night. But let's go back. That's our content, our Sprout. Okay. So again, this is going to get all of those profile IDs that it needs to post to Sprout. And then I just created this like glue tool, which just takes all those separate tools and adds them together. Is this necessary? I don't know, but I realized when I was testing it out last night, when it was just having to call every single tool individually. Wait, you can't see my screen? Dang, what is going on? Oh, you can, okay. So Angie, you can see it and it's showing on LinkedIn. Okay. All right, cool. So what was I talking about? I was mumbling about something. Oh yeah, so I created this last tool that glues together all those separate tools. And I'm not sure if it's actually necessary, but I realized when I was testing it out last night, when it had to call each tool individually, like get the profile IDs, create the copy, things like that, it was just moving a little slower. So I put them all together in this long kind of like flow, giving it step 1, step 2, etc. It moved a lot faster. So from that little, little research, I would say it's necessary. And then again, we're starting the server. So let's test this out. So we're going to go back to Goose. Let's make Goose a little bigger for everyone. Okay. Click here so we can see our extensions. I'm not sure if I made any changes. So let's actually go back to our Sprout social. Let's do npm run builds. Perfect. Let's go to Goose. We're on our extensions page. Can I make this bigger? Okay. All right. So now Sprout social. Same thing as our other one. This is our local MCP server. So we're going to give it whatever name we want, Sprout social media. Our same command is going to be node and then the path to where you have that MCP server saved, specifically your server.js file. And then down here is where you would put all of those environment variables that I discussed earlier. So your API token, customer ID, and then all the social profile ID numbers, we put them in here. So then we'd click Save Changes. I'm going to toggle this off just to make sure all those changes, if I did make any, are applied. Let's toggle it back on. All right. Let's see. I see it now. Must be a problem for me. Okay. All right, cool. So some people are seeing me. This is good. All right, let's do a new, actually, we'll just stick with this window. All right. Hey, Goose. What should we ask Goose to do? Let's just ask it what it can do. What can you do with the Sprout social MCP server? How's everybody feeling? Are we all like on the same page? We're following along. It's making sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you, Rizal. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, so again, this is it referring to all of our tools. And let's zoom in. Have we zoomed in too much? Okay. All right, cool. Go away. Okay. So social media posting. So it can create draft posts, create scheduled posts, create posts from content, upload media from the URL, and then it could do the multi-platform support. So again, LinkedIn, Twitter, X. Now I have to keep saying say X, YouTube, and Blue Sky. And let's have it create one for us. I'm going to have it upload an image. So let me grab an image URL really fast. The quickest way I could think of this is we're going to just take this from Rozelle's blog, her image there. We're going to say, hey, Goose, can you upload this image for me to Sprout? Actually, can you, well, not upload. Let's say, can you create a draft scheduled post for me in Sprout using this image and have the message be, I don't know, vibe code with me test, something like that. All right, let's see. Yay. Okay, I'm glad it makes sense, Roselle. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Okay. Thank you. I'm excited. Okay, let's see. Oh, I didn't tell it which one. Okay, I wanted to do it for Blue Sky. Dang, I wonder if these IDs, no, it should be fine. Didn't I tell her to schedule draft posts? To schedule, oh, when? Okay. Can you do a scheduled draft post for, I don't know, an hour from now? Okay, let's see. Yay. Okay. So it's doing the upload media from URL. So that is grabbing the image from that URL and it's creating the scheduled post with the message, hopefully. Yay. Okay. This is kind of too zoomed in for me. Okay, there we go. All right. So now let's click on this so we can see it. Of course, it opens over here. 1 second, guys. Let me drag it over. Drag this over. And done. It did it for us. And this is, I mean, it looks a little wonky. Okay, there we go. Okay, yay. Vibe code with me test. Successful. And again, the only part that sucks, hold on, I lost you guys. Let me find the screen that you guys are on. Okay, cool. The only part that sucks is we're going to have to like go in and press turn off the draft. So let's go to our calendar up here today. And then we would have to go in, click edit, and then toggle off draft for it to actually post. That part sucks, but this is really cool, right? Like this has already eliminated a lot of steps for us. And it was so easy. Like all we did was spin up that MCP server. It won't take you much time. Once you know how the tool is supposed to look, you can just plug it into Goose and say, hey, create an MCP server for me using the fast MCP or whatever SDK you want to use. And literally within like 2 minutes, you'll have your MCP spun up. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you think it's cool. I think it's really cool too. I was very excited about it. What API endpoint or service is Goose utilizing / calling? So it's using the API token that I shared earlier, and it's hitting the Sprout API. So if you're an admin, you're able to, I'll just review it really quickly. You're able to go to account settings, click API, and this is where you would create that API token, and that's what it's hitting. And then if we go to the documentation, you can get a little more detail. Publishing, create publishing post endpoint. So this is where it's going. Oh, can you guys see why? I feel like it's just freezing. I don't see it anymore on my side. Okay, it's back. Okay, cool. So this is the endpoint. Hopefully that answered your question. All right, now let's go back to Goose. Successful. Do we want to test out any of the other endpoints, or do we feel like good and confident that this MCP server is working, and let's move on to the next step? Quickly, thoughts. While you guys think, I'm going to Go back to the code. All right, so we have our Sprout Social. I'm actually going to start sharing our, oh, yay, you're welcome. Okay, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to go back to our checklist. Okay, so all of this stuff is working, right? We have our content, fetcher MCP. It fetches, it tracks last seen, and it detects content is new. And we saw that when it showed us the new content when we asked with our prompt in Goose. Then we have our Sprout Social. It uploads the media for us. It created the draft post. We did a scheduled draft post, but if that one's working, the other one is working. And then the glue tool will just put all those steps together and it posted to Sprout successfully. Yay. Okay. Now let's move on to the recipes. Oh, question from Brittany. So all posts will live in Sprout Social. Yes. And that is the part that is not the most ideal for this flow. If you guys have any other ideas on what we could do differently, but yeah, at the moment, Sprout API, it doesn't allow publishing without any human intervention. So if it's done automatically this way through the API, it has to go as a scheduled draft, unfortunately. And I get it. It makes sense for like brand issues. You don't want something to be posted that you didn't approve and then, you look messy online or something. So it makes sense, but it's not what we really wanted. But again, if you guys have any other ideas, please let me know. Okay, so now let's look our next checklist. Okay, so now this is the recipes. This is where the automation is going to happen. I started a little bit on this. We're going to go through the recipes together. Give me your input because, again, this is just off the brain. This is what I think would work and make the most sense. There's probably a better way to do this, which is why we're vibe coding together. All right, so now let me go back to my screen and let's look at these recipes that I put together. I think it's here. Okay, yeah. All right, here we go. Let me zoom in. Close you out. Let's push this over a little bit. Okay, so for the recipe, what I decided was to break it up a little bit. So I have my main recipe, and I'm using sub recipes. Let me share some documentation on recipes really quick. Recipes. And let's look at the screen together too really quickly. So we're all in alignment. If you don't know what recipes are, docs, recipes. Oh, I think whenever I share, maybe because my screen is so big, whenever I share a link or comment, that's when I can't see if it's actually showing for you guys. That's so weird. Okay. Anyways, so recipes. Recipes is how you can basically use it to share workflows. So it'll have all of everything packaged together, all of the extensions you used in that session, and you could share it to somebody else. So when they get it, they basically have this Goose session that is an expert at whatever task you're working on. What we really want to focus on is the scheduled ones, which I believe is in shareable down to scheduled recipe. So scheduled recipe is what we want to work on. We want this recipe, which is going to be this social media automation. We want it to run, I think I'm going to say once a day, maybe like 10 a.m., something like that. We want it to run once a day and do this whole automation for us. See if we have any new content across our social sites. If we do, grab that and post it to Sprout. If we don't have any new one, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, I actually created this evergreen source. Where did I put you? Here. So I created this evergreen.json, and this just has some of our old content. So if there's no new content, pull from this. It's going to be random. Pull randomly from this and post one of these and promote it for us. Just that our socials aren't dead or lacking if we don't have anything new to show. And this is just random stuff. I want to actually populate this with our top videos or our top blogs and things like that, our top shorts. So it actually makes sense and it's things people would want to see again. Okay. So now let me know what recipes are. We're using scheduled recipes. Let's look at, which one is it? I got too many open. Okay. So let's look at some of the recipes that I put together. Let's make it a little smaller. Hopefully you guys can still see. Okay, so this is our main recipe. And I broke it down into a main recipe and then 6 sub recipes. So the description for this one is it's going to fetch new Goose content or post the evergreen item, which we just went over, generate captions, draft posts in Sprout, and mark items as seen. So for the instructions, you're going to run once per day and handle all of our daily Goose social posts. This should be lowercase. This is criminal. Okay. So the workflow, step one, run and fetch all, use fetch all, which is in our content fetcher, that tool to gather all of our content. So our YouTube videos, our Goose blog posts, our GitHub releases. And then you're going to run detect new. So it's going to check if they're like, again, is this new content or old content? If it's new content, it's going to create the copy for all 3 of our social sites that we have in Sprout and post, like create that draft for us. After it's done posting, it then needs to add that to our marked scene JSON, which is our last scene JSON. So I got to update that. It might not work because the way I wrote it. Let's change that to the last scene. Okay. Oh, actually, no. Marked scene is one of the tools I have. Brain fart. Okay. So if there's no new content that exists, then it's going to go to our pick evergreen and it's going to select one of those items, run the generate caption. So create that copy for it, post it on all of our platforms, exactly like it would do above. And then it's not going to mark it as seen, which this is a problem that I just thought about maybe a few minutes before hopping on. I need to have a way that it's going to manage if an evergreen item has already been posted. We don't want to keep reposting the same old content either. That's no fun. So then I gave us some rules. Obviously, never pass our environment variables manually. We have that all taken care of in our MCP server, our Sprout MCP server, where we had all of those environment variables loaded. So same, these things, doesn't really matter. So it's going to start with, this is how it's going to begin it. It's going to start with our fetch all sub recipe, then our detect new, our generate captions, post the Sprout, mark scene, pick evergreen. And then down here, you would just, in your recipe, there's also, so that you guys, I don't want to go into too much detail, but we have this recipe reference guide, which will tell you exactly how to create a recipe. But also, you could just have Goose do it for you. You don't have to worry too much if it's accurate or not, because Goose will make sure it's accurate. Where are you? Here. Okay, cool. I'm going to share this with you guys too. Okay. Now let's look at our create social post one, because I added some instructions because, okay, we want this to be automated, but we don't want everyone to be able to clock that it's been automated. We want it to feel like us, right? So I added things like only 0 or 1 emoji. Really, this is the only emoji I think is okay to use. I mean, we probably could add like the fire emoji. Sound like me, you know, I'm very calm, very resourceful, and just have like a dev first mentality. And highlight what a developer would learn and don't like overhype. Like I hate when it says things like in this fast-paced world or leverage technology today, or just don't do too much. Don't do too much. And don't make it cringy and like markety. I don't know if this is enough for him to not, for Goose to listen to what I want. The LLM doesn't give us content that we don't want, but hopefully it's enough. And then we have like platform rules, right? So for LinkedIn, they penalize if you put YouTube links. So I'm specifying don't add any YouTube links. I want the tone to be calm, clear. And for LinkedIn, it could be a longer message. Again, no more than 1 emoji. Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy. Same for Twitter. Only one that does allow links and doesn't penalize you is Blue Sky, from my knowledge. If I'm wrong, let me know. But from my knowledge, I believe that's the one that's okay. And then again, produce the captions. And then yeah, that's pretty much something I really want to highlight for you guys. If there's any that you want to see in more depth, we can go over that. But I really want to test this out and see if it even works. So let's go over to Goose. So what you would do is you'll be in your chat window. You would go over here and you would click recipes. And this is our daily social promo automation. This is the main recipe that we just used. Let's see. Did you add no hashtags in the social media post too? Ooh, did I? Let's see. Because we also don't want him to get crazy with the hashtags either. And the hashtag might not even be relevant. Let me see. Create social posts. My rules. I said no hashtags unless justified. We're just going to say no hashtags. We're just going to say no hashtags. And then also, you know, we also need to add the M dashes. Like you can't be grammatically correct, because if you're too grammatically correct, people are going to know that AI wrote it. So do not, and I think that's what they're called. Yeah, don't be too smart. Don't do that. All right, let's see. Anything else? If you guys think of any more, let me know. All right, so let's go over to Goose. Let's make you big again. All right, so let's run it and see if it works. And fingers crossed. And if it doesn't, we're gonna vibe code with Goose to figure it out. Oh, geez. Let me open this over here so you guys can see it. Oh, she said no. Okay, let's see. Oh, come on, move over. Okay, so agent feature recipe parsing failed. Sub recipe does not exist. Oh, which one? Sub recipe does not exist. Sub recipes generate social cap. Oh, I deleted that one. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So we're gonna do some debugging together. So originally I had a sub recipe called generate. Let's just copy it. Generate social captions. So I guess I didn't remove all the instances of this. Ugh, I got too many code things open. Okay, let's search it. Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I replaced it with post. Is it create social post? That's the one I switched it with. So let's update this. Create. Oop. Social. I swear I know how to type. But whenever I get on here, I can never type. Create social posts. Okay. Let's see. That should be good. All right, let's try this again. X her out. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Yeah, we can't do any M dashes. Like it's just, Okay. All right, let's try her again. Let me bring this over. Oh, we got another error. Okay, let's see. What are you saying now? Mark content scene. How do you not? That's there. Sub recipes, mark content scene. So again, it's saying it can't find the sub recipe. Oh, it's called mark scene. All right, mark content. All right, let's edit this. I fully expected this to have like a few hiccups. So this is good. All right, and I love how Goose gives us these clear error messages. Let's go again. Oh, nice. And this one stayed here this time, so I don't got to redo it. Hey, okay. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you are about to execute a recipe that you haven't run before. Love this. Let's make it bigger so you guys can see. Oh, you can't. It's not even. Okay, sorry, guys. I can't make that any bigger. Maybe. Let's see. Did that make it better or worse? That might have made it worse. But okay. So we got this warning. You're about to run this recipe that you haven't run before. Only proceed if you trust the source. I made it. I trust myself. I think it should be good to go. It's showing me the recipe. All right, let's fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. Work. Okay, running your daily automation, checking for new content, posting to Sprout, and updating last seen JSON. All right, let's see. Oh, do I need to? Is it running it or do I need to say begin? Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. Dang. Let's see. External provider. Let's remove that. Hold on. So we're getting this error on external provider. We're just gonna get rid of that. I remember adding that in because I saw it as like an optional field that we could have. Where is it? I think it's in the main one. I think it's in here. Extensions. No, where did I write this? Open. Okay, yeah, let's just get rid of that. I don't think we need that. All right, let's see. Let's go back to Goose. Let's do this all over again. Dang, do we need to rerun it? Let's see. All right, loading. Yes, I trust myself. Let's do it. Dang. Okay. All right. We're not going to keep going back and forth like this. We're going to have Goose fix this for us. So Goose, we need some help. Let's do a new window and let's have Goose review what we did wrong and figure it out. All right. Let's see. I won't actually be able to put Goose in it because of where it's saved. So this should be okay. So, hey Goose, I created a recipe with sub recipes and I am getting errors. Can you help me debug my one main recipe along with the 6 recipes? You can find them here. All right, let's grab the path for where our recipes are. You are not recipes. All right, here we go. Everything, when it's so zoomed in, it looks so crazy. Okay. Here it is. All right, so for recipes, this is where they'll be saved. So they're going to be .config/goose/recipes, and then that's where you would put them. If it was a sub recipe, it would be recipe/sub recipe, etc. You can find the main recipe here. Okay, let's see. Goose, do your thing. Make this work. We're so close. Okay. It's checking the sub recipe. Let's see. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you. All right. Okay, nice. So it has all of them loaded up. Let's see what we've done wrong. Okay. All right. So I've reviewed all your recipes. Now, you know what I should have done that might have made Goose help a little more helpful is told it what our goal is, like what the flow should be so that it actually knows if it's accurate or not. Now it's just going to check to make sure like the parameters line up and like technical things make sense. But I wanted to also make sure that the way I wrote all of these recipes, the flow is what I want it to be. And that part makes sense. But let's let Goose do its thing. Okay. Yeah. See like parameter issues. Okay. Let me check if there's blah, blah. Okay. So the issue sub recipe sections reference, but Goose doesn't support. Oh, it's sub underscore. Okay. 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 Remove blah, blah, blah. To instead call sub recipes in your instructions. Goose, go fix it. Oh, it's already fixing it for me. I love that. Okay, cool. Yeah, just make it better, make it work. And this is the part of vibe coding that I love. Like, you just kind of sit back, have a little drink, and have some water, and let Goose do all the hard work. Obviously, we're going to check our work and see what Goose produces for us. Let's make this bigger. Okay, let's see. Sub recipes are well structured. Wait, what? Okay. Remaining considerations. Okay, testing. Error handling. Yeah, I didn't really have any error handling in there. Your Goose scheduling features to run this daily. Okay, would you like me to help test the recipe or make any other adjustments? Let's just test it our own, like the way we did earlier, and see if we get any errors. So we're gonna go to recipes. We're gonna hit play. Let's see what we got going on. All right, recipe warning. I trust myself. Let's do it. Okay, let's see. And it also changed the prompt. If you know, if you guys remember before, the prompt was just begin today's scheduled social automation. Now this one says follow the workflow in the instructions. All right, let's see. I'm seeing green. Goose is still thinking. I think it's gonna work. Okay. Yay. Okay. This is good. It fetched all of the content from YouTube, the blog, GitHub release. And now it's going to check if it's new content. So this is going back into our MCP server. Yay. Okay. So I found 9 new items to post. New item 1, vibe code with me, build a social media agent. That's us. Okay. I'm excited. Why am I so amped over this? This is so fun to me. It's so fun. Okay. All right, but let's see how this caption looks. Does it see? Why did it put the link? We told it not to put the link. Okay, learn how to build a social media agent that automates your posts. This video walks through setting up an agent that fetches content, generates captions, and schedules posts across platforms. You'll see how to integrate MCP servers, handle API calls, and structure workflow. It's a little boring, but it's not bad because this is a live stream. So so for Twitter, build a social media agent that automates your posts. This video shows you how to fetch content. Okay. Red. What happened? Let's see. Oh, it's okay. I need to provide a valid media URL or omit the media URL parameter for link only posts. Let me retry. Okay. Is it automatically replacing one? Oh, okay. So this is something that I did because I couldn't fully figure out how this flow should work in my mind. So if Goose didn't already fix it for us, I can walk you guys through what I did and where that error is coming from. Okay, so in our Sprout Social MCP server, we have all of our environment variables already loaded in there. But when it came to the recipes, I didn't know how to correlate the two, right? So I thought if I put customer profile ID, which is an environment variable that the MCP server already has, if I put it to one, that it would just replace it. Like the MCP server would just override it. But we're finding out here that that's not the one. Where is it? Which is the one? This, yeah, this is the one. So we're finding out now that the MCP server isn't automatic. I wish I could make the screen bigger. Maybe I can if I just do full screen. Let's see. Okay, cool. You go away. Okay, so we're finding out that it's not actually going to replace it with the correct profile IDs. Let me use the actual IDs I retrieved, blah, blah, blah. All 3 posts were created successfully. Yay. Okay, and now I'll mark this content as seen and move to the next item. Oh my goodness. Okay. But we do see an issue. It's adding the links, and I explicitly told it not to add the links. But let's look in Sprout. Ooh. All right, let's look in Sprout and see if it actually posted these for us. So let's go to Sprout and check it out. Let's go to publishing, calendar. Where's today's date? Dang, I don't see it. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe it just didn't do a scheduled draft. It just did a regular. Yeah. Okay. So if it's a scheduled draft, it would show in the calendar. If it's not a scheduled draft, it would just show here and we would go in and edit it. But it's not, one part isn't working. We don't want these links. I want you to actually give me the video the same way it gave us the, how do you have so many? Oh, okay. That's something else I need to add in. So right now, my logic is if you get any new content, create all of that into social posts, but we don't want to spam people on their feed. So I need to also put a conditional in that will have it stop. So like maybe it'll only, if it's new content, only use maybe 2 and promo those for that day, or stretch it throughout the week and create a new JSON maybe that has all that new content that has yet to be seen. Seen means posted. Maybe that could work. Let me know what y'all think. Let me see. We have a question. Do I tell Goose the recipe order I want resulted? So I'm assuming you're asking like the order of the sub recipes it should use, I think is the question. Let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, you do specify that in your main one. So you're telling it, you're giving it the steps, the instructions. Can you see? I don't know why it disappears from me. Okay. It's telling you tell it the instructions, and then hold on. Where are the sub recipes? Hey, what did Goose do? Why are the sub recipes not listed here? What flow has it done? Because we should still have sub recipes listed here. But yeah, you basically tell it the flow in the instruction so it knows which recipe to call. But you also, there should be a sub recipes section. Let's double confirm. We're in the docs. We're looking at recipes real quick. Yeah, should have sub recipes here and list all of the different sub recipes that the main recipe needs to use. Let's see what Goose got going on. Dang, we're actually kind of up on the hour too. I feel like we still have so much left to do, but we've successfully created, let's go back to our checklist. Okay, we've successfully created 2 MCP servers. I'm going to share the GitHub repo with you guys so you can play around with it as well. For the Sprout Social to work, remember you need to get your own API key. I'll put the steps in the README so you know how to do that, so you can get all of your IDs. And then we also have our recipe rules. So we have our 6 different recipes. We have, our 6 sub recipes, our 1 main recipe, and it successfully worked. We actually posted to Sprout. There are some things we need to fix. 1, if you find 9 new pieces of content, don't post all 9 new pieces of content on the same day. So I need a conditional for that. The second one is I need to figure out why it posted the link instead of the video, like how we saw it in the beginning. In the beginning, it actually posted our, it used the media URL and it posted let's scroll, see if we can even find it. We got so much going on. Oh, we can. It's in calendar. And it actually pulled out the image for us. And I tested it last night and it did that with video as well. So maybe it's the way my wording is in my instructions on how to do it. Maybe it's not clear enough. So I'll need to iterate on that. But besides that, I mean, we did it. And we do have to press toggle off this thing here. Boo, kind of boring, but it works. Let me just show you guys before I leave how you would schedule this out so that you at least have that knowledge. Let's go back to Goose. So you would go to your recipes. You would probably be on your chat screen or your home screen. You would click over to recipes here, find whichever recipe you want, and you would go to this little calendar here and create schedule. And then this is how you would schedule out. Just follow the flow, the path here, and that's how you would schedule out this recipe to happen once a day, twice a day, whatever you prefer. But I'm so excited. We actually got this going and we're so close to the finish line. Maybe I'll be able to hop on here tomorrow. Maybe I could do a quick little impromptu live stream tomorrow just to show all the kinks figured out so we can just see the result together and just be happy of our hard work. But that is it. Yay, I'm glad you found it interesting, Brittany. And same, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Thank you for having good questions and sticking with me. Did I just disappear? I think I did. And there goes my internet. And that's another sign that we are done. But thank you so much, guys. And we will see you on the next Vibe Code with me.